computer. Now, okay, go girls.
Okay, kia ora, everybody.
Kia ora.
I'm Trish, this is Margie.
And we are Pakaha.
Which we're white women.
White woman Margie, white woman Trish. Pakaha.
Pakaha. So, guys, look, we will do about 30 minutes tonight because we're fairly knackered because we've been really, really busy. But we really had some excitement over here. And we've had a fabulous time. So we just really want to cover off first on the invitations and really get you to start looking at who you can invite. Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? Because really, you will find somebody that is a common ground with you who will have a Kiwi over here. So we want to go into that a little bit tonight. So I'm going to get Margie to play with the buttons here and make the invitation come up.
But first, what we want to do, Trish is going to just tell you a little short story about being persistent when you invite somebody. Because if she hadn't been persistent, she and I would not be business partners.
No.
So you can tell what happened, Trish.
So firstly, when I rang Margie, she said, no, I'm absolutely not interested in network marketing. And so I said, okay, but I think this is a good product. I'm not interested, darling, she said, and hung up on me. Well, we said goodbye, then when she hung up. And so a few weeks later, I rang her back again. And a few weeks later, I rang her back again. And on the fourth time of ringing her back, I absolutely knew she needed this product. And so I said to her, you know, Margie, I really think this product would help. You're stubborn, you stay sick, and you stay poor, and see you later, and hung up on her.
She didn't even give me a chance to answer.
And that's me posturing in my strength. I knew I had something that Margie needed, and I was ready to actually walk forward with that in my strength because I wanted her to have it. She rang me back 10 minutes later and said, give me the bloody stuff. Like fair income, I've got bumps on my head from knocking it against walls.
And I must say, I'm so grateful because I feel I've got my life back because on many levels, it's been amazing for me. But our subject tonight is about inviting. And when G, in a training some months back, said, who do you know, who do you know, who do you know, who do you know, who knows somebody in New Zealand, who do you know in New Zealand? And I thought, my word. And she kept giving this vision and this story about how exciting it would be working in New Zealand. And I thought, I want to do that, but I don't know anybody. But what I am is a Dr. Vata therapist. And they're Dr. Vata therapists all over the world. So I thought, blow me down, I'm going to just Google, get all the Vata therapists that are in Auckland. And there were, I think, 14. And I phoned G and I said, G, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send them an email and send them an invitation. She said, no, you're not going to do that. I said, oh. She said, you phone them first. You don't know them. This is a cold call. You phone them first, introduce yourself, find the common ground being the Vata therapist. Then they will trust you. You've both been through the same school. You had the same training, even though I don't know them and I hadn't met them. So that's what I did. Once I got hold of them, once I spoke to them, I sent them the invitation. Of those 14, I got 2 outright no's, just like that, out of the 14. I got another 2 that said they were interested, but they couldn't attend that particular function. And I had 1 that said yes. So out of that 14, I had 1. And his name was Tiger. Tiger enrolled the Platinum Pack. There were times between that invitation and the Platinum Pack, which took a period of maybe 6 weeks at least.
Absolutely, 6 weeks.
And it was one day on, one day off. 1 week, he just went like a meerkat down in the hole and he was gone. He didn't respond to emails. He didn't respond to SMS. And I'd phone Jean. I said, Jean, what am I supposed to do? She said, nothing, don't do anything. And I didn't do anything. I just sat around and every now and then I'd send him a little message or send him something. And then it was the meeting coming up and I said, well, what I'll do is I'll just send him a reminder And the day of the meeting, that's when he phoned.
We were on our way to town.
We're on our way to Tamworth, and he phoned and he said, "Where's the meeting?" Meanwhile, I'd sent him reminders and whatever. So what is important, even if you think you've lost them, just persist. It means, and if I tell you I went back more, they say 8 times. It was more than 8 times.
Absolutely.
I phoned, I sent emails, I sent SMSs, not in a nagging way, but as a gentle reminder that we care. We know this is going to be great. It's a fabulous product for Vada therapists to use in their clinic, and that's how it went. So those other 2 that couldn't make it, we signed the one up yesterday, and we're signing the other one up tomorrow. So we have 3 Vada therapists that were brought in via that long and involved time. So our challenge with all of you there tonight who are looking for an in, and we're going to use the example of New Zealand because we've got this amazing opening coming up, and there is an opportunity meeting attached to that evening. So the invitations there, which we're going to show you. But what I'd like you to think about is where you find, yes,
Could I just please ask you, Margie, what actual script, just for that initial phone call that you made to those clinics, what script did you, or what did you actually say?
I said, "Hello, I'm Margie here. And you and I have something fabulous in common. I'm a Vada therapist from Sydney. I did my training 20 years ago, and I have been using the most incredible product in my clinic for 14 months, and I would love to share it with you." That's all I said. I said, "May I send you some information?" And all I sent was the ABC and the invitation. That's all.
And did you ask for like the head practitioner, or how did you get past the receptionist? Because I think that's a big thing, getting past like the gatekeeper to speak to somebody who will actually understand.
Vada therapists sometimes are in their own businesses.
Oh, okay.
There
they'll
were
answer
2
themselves.
Vada therapists who work in hospitals. They're useless. They can't product. So we didn't. Those I couldn't work with. But when we were cold canvassing for the vets, when we went into the country, rural New South Wales, there is a gatekeeper.
Yes.
To share about the gatekeeper.
The one in Tamworth.
Yes. And I had phoned, and we decided we're going to target because of the horses and the animals and the small vets, and we loved the ha-ha story. So.
Which vet am I talking about?
The one where the gatekeeper was the right person, even though I wanted to go by.
Oh, yes, exactly. So we went into this clinic, this vet clinic, and the person we were talking to basically was the gatekeeper, and she was most apologetic because her boss, the vet, had pulled out on the appointment.
And they didn't tell us, so we arrived there.
So you had made an appointment.
We made an appointment, yeah.
And did they know what your appointment was for? Did they think it was
yes,
for?
No, they knew they had the ABC, and they had the video on that mini ha-ha.
Yep,
the horse video.
So
I was wondering what mini ha-ha was.
No, it was that lovely lady from
Jennifer.
What's
Jennifer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
so
I
we
get
were
it.
in this clinic, and this girl's body energy was so incredibly apologetic. I was kicking Margie on the table
because I was furious.
So she was furious, and so I'm going like this, and suddenly Margie starts connecting with this girl and introducing what we were there for, and this girl was so switched on. We had it, didn't we? We had it, and we've pursued that.
Yeah,
we've got to go back and see
her.
We're
seeing her in a week's time.
But then there was another Vada therapist in Tamworth who gave us the cold shoulder. Out there with their little lemon faces like that, and so we went and saw them, and we did the big presentation, and then they went cold, and they were nasty.
Absolutely cold. Yeah.
So we went back, and we were doing the presentation, and this girl that was sucking lemons turned up at the meeting. And so we then said, can we come and see you tomorrow? And so we went to see them, and again it was this funny feeling like they were just giving us the flick, weren't they?
Almost, but not. They
So
were
when-
interested, but they just wouldn't commit.
So Margie will tell you what I did.
So Trish stands up and she said, I want to show you something, why this product is so amazing. Bearing in mind, the first visit was a month before, and Trish hobbled in on her walking stick because she hadn't had the op. 5 weeks later, she's walking in with no stick, and she had a slight limp then because
Yeah.
it was only 3 weeks after the op. Because
Yeah.
I drove.
Yeah, you did.
And she stands up, she bends over, she pulls her pants down and shows her big bottom to these therapists. They took one look and their faces just turned. They could not believe, because her scar had healed so quickly. It looked like a scar that was like a year old. There was no swelling, there was no redness.
There's no lymphatic problems.
Nothing at all.
They signed.
And they both signed up.
Wow.
No, sometimes it just takes that. That was rather unusual, shock treatment. But you know what? If we had just given up after our first call to them, we wouldn't have got them in. And now they're quite excited. The one is into horses as well. So it just means you've just got to keep inviting. And that one who, when she was giving us lemons, I just phoned her when we arrived in Tamworth, and I said, remember I told you we were having a meeting on Saturday? I said, are you coming? She said, no. I'm busy doing the presentation. And in she walked.
Yeah, she walked in.
In she walked. So you just have to keep inviting, and don't worry if they come or they don't come. Just keep
Absolutely.
I think the key is posture with secure in the knowledge that we've got something unique. And when you believe in something and you're passionate, no one says no. And the Minnehaha farm lady is a classic example of that. She's so passionate, she's so together about what she's got her hands on. People say yes to her because, you know, when you truly believe in your product, no one says no. And
I think the simpler that you keep it, the better.
Yeah.
So what Trishy and I would like to challenge you with is to find a common ground. If you're a nurse like Una, Google the nurses in Auckland. You've got 7 days. The meeting is coming up on the 12th of November. You've got time to find some common ground. If you love gardening, what about the garden clubs? Landscaping is huge here. We were taken today to enroll the doctor phototherapist, and we got lost. We ended up passing landscaping and all sorts of businesses, beautiful. And gardens, beautiful gardens is big business here. So if you're a gardener, there's beautiful common ground. You can find a gardener that you can invite to come along to this meeting. And if you want to garden, why do we take this product? Why do we take it? Because we don't want any aches and pains. You can't bend down and garden when you've got a sore back. So there's good reasons for us to be taking this product if we're gardeners. So just think about some other areas. Trisha, you mentioned hairdressers.
So don't if you've got a common ground, don't send an email, don't send a message. Make the call. It's a hard call. We've been going in cold calling, and I've been talking to everyone, and I've picked up a couple of really good people, and one of them is a naturopath. And I always say it's just about having a yarn. You just have a yarn, but if you have a yarn with the right steps, know what you're going to try and get. So know what you're trying to achieve when you're having that conversation. What are they doing? Why are they doing it? How comfortable are they doing it? And what would they like to change? Okay? And when I had this conversation with this lady, suddenly she started telling us that, you know, she had all these financial worries and blah, blah, blah. And then she said, she talked to me about her son, who's a naturopath. So we followed up the next day. And it's uncomfortable to do it. But now this guy is like, well, I'm very interested. I know about the NRF2 pathway. I'd like some more information. I'm open to having a look at your business model. So it's kind of difficult, but if you're there, you can keep doing it. So, you know, I always say you drive for the distance. At golf, you drive for the distance, but you putt for the dough. And if you don't putt for the dough and you keep putting for the dough, you'll never, actually sign anybody. And that also goes with, you know, I've got some deadheads that I've signed up. Do I walk away from them? No. I keep sending them information. You know, I keep getting them to come along to events, because when they come to events, they get more belief, they get more understanding, they get a little bit excited. Sometimes, you know, it takes a very bloody big battery to get people excited. Okay, but you can get them excited if you never give up on them.
So Tricia and I were talking about events and invitations earlier this evening, and we feel quite strongly that people send out an invitation and then what? Oh, nobody came. I invited 15 people, but nobody turned up.
Yeah.
It's not about sending the invitation and waiting for them to come to the event. It's really, really important. Once you've sent the invitation, phone a couple of days later and say, did you get that invitation? Will you be coming? Because we're running out of tickets. I would like to put you on the guest list. And would you like to invite your sister or your mother or your brother or your friend? Right? Because it's more likely if they come with a friend that they'll come than if they come on their own. So make that call. If they say yes, they're coming, say, fabulous, I'm going to put you on that list. And then you still follow up the day before. Well, you send them a little SMS reminder. And if there's a week or so before the invitation, send them a little video clip to watch. Up until Brian Dixon was here, I often sent that 6-minute video. I don't know if any of you have watched it. It's fabulous. You just go onto YouTube and it says, Dr. Brian Dixon explains NRF1 and NRF2. It's a 6-minute video and it is fab, especially for new people coming in. It really, I've already brought in a couple of people just on that video alone because of the understanding they get after having watched it.
So your game, girls, this is absolutely so exciting over here. And I want you to know that the online purchases in New Zealand yearly is $4.9 billion. $4.9 billion, guys. And it's going to grow dramatically. So you've got the delivery fee over here is about $8. It's cheaper than our at home. So guys, you know, there are people over here looking, and we've found this over and over since we've been here. We've talked to bloody everybody. We've talked to barmen, waiters,
people
toilet
in the
cleaners,
people in the lifts, people on the ferry with us.
Yep. We picked up a gorgeous black man yesterday.
Oh, he's divine. Oh, is he gorgeous?
His name was Orville.
Oh, yes, he's fab. So now, I mean, we work, we talk to people, but then now, tomorrow morning, we've only got 2 hours in the morning to do all our follow-ups because we've got an appointment, 3 appointments tomorrow.
Well, 4.
Four appointments tomorrow. So we've only got 2 hours in the morning to do our follow-ups from yesterday. Because today we had a full-on day, we just didn't have a chance to do it. So the follow-ups are really important. And when you've done the follow-up, you must then phone and say, did you get my email? What if they didn't get it? Have you opened? What did you like about the video I sent you? You know? Okay. So
we're going to show you where the invitations are, guys.
So I'm just going to share the screen now.
So get active, because this place is just open slather. I'm honest to God. We've talked to so many people and they're all really struggling and looking for income.
Una, how do I get these people down off? They're in my way. I can't share the screen.
She's talking.
Just unmute yourself, Una.
Sorry, if you just go up into the top corner and you see there's 2 little boxes. And you'll see there's gallery screen and full screen. Just go click gallery screen. Here, I'll do it. There is the, hang on.
This one.
I'll just exit full screen.
Hello Kim. Hello, Sandra.
Hello, guys. And Sandy, we don't know Sandy, but we're so welcome.
Hello, everybody.
And Mary's got no picture. Di's got no picture. Lovely to see you all. So how am I going to do that?
Ollie's there.
So can you just go into share screen?
I'm looking for the little share screen. It's normally at the top, but I can't.
It's down the bottom.
It's the bottom. Down the bottom, and it's green.
Oh, got it. Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Green.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. Share screen, share.
Yeah.
Margie's be on a high at the moment. She's just had such a good. Margie signed up 5 distributors in the last month.
Oh my gosh,
5
well done you.
distributors, this girl. She used to ring me up and go, "Oh, darling, I don't have anybody. I don't think I'm going to go anywhere with this business." And I would say, "I'm going to slap you in the head in a minute."
Okay, so what we'd like to share with
That
you.
sounds like you to me, Una.
Oh yes, up here.
So I want you to go onto the Facebook Live Vantage Australia - New Zealand events.
Official Australian and New Zealand events, Life Vantage official
Facebook
page. And there you'll find the invitation. And if you send out,
Just hang on a sec. You wait. You can say that in a minute. So once you've got that, I want you to just go down the screen, because this is the first step. Is to oh no, hang on. We've got to just go back.
Is that the first step?
No, hang on. We just got to go back one. There we go. Is that the yeah? So we just go down. Oh, you see, it's. Oh no, we need to come home page. Okay. So can you see we on home page? Right. Can you see that it's on home page? Then I want you to come down the page and scroll and scroll and scroll until you find the event you're looking for. So obviously the event we would encourage you to try and get some people at, because it's going to be G will be there, Charlotte will be there, Cortland will be there. There's going to be at least 7 distributors there that will help if you are able to get someone to go to that meeting. And it's going to be very exciting. So if you click on this event, then the event opens up. Come down to next to share or under share, you'll see invite friends. If you click on there, you'll see which friends you might want to invite. Share to Messenger or share as a post. Now, sharing as a post is like throwing stuff on the wall and hope it sticks. So I have never invited anybody to any event by sharing as a post. So if you just go back, so that's how you can do it that way. But what we would like to show you here is if you come back to the original page, come down on the extreme right-hand side and click on events. And there you'll see the events come up that are next in line. So for the coming events, G has already done Gisborne.
No, she hasn't.
Oh, no, sorry, Gisborne is on Thursday.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, that's tomorrow, there's Maunganui. Now, I don't know why Maunganui is not on the list here, but Maunganui is tomorrow.
But it is in the back. We found it.
It is there on the list. Then on Friday the 8th is Wellington. Saturday the 9th is Dunedin. And then the 12th is the big meeting. You'll see there's the opportunity and there's the launch meeting.
So guys, this is the Thelma and Louise show, and they're fabulous. That's Gail and G, and they're out there and they are on fire. They're as hyped as Margie is. It's like, you know, I've got to give them all a chill pill because they're really hyped about the whole thing. And so if you can get people to Wellington and Dunedin or Gisborne, it's going to be just such an amazing place for people to go along and find out, you know, the nuts and bolts of what we've got our hands on. So don't let this opportunity go past. Is that okay if I speak?
So you know, these little places that they go into, Dunedin and Maunganui, just Google Maunganui and see if you can find a hairdresser. You know, there must be someone there that has not been invited to the meeting yet. So if you haven't got someone in New Zealand, and you know what, this country is wide open. We haven't spoken to one person that said no. I've had hundreds of no's in Australia.
Oh yeah, they're pretty close.
And they are all open. They're looking for an opportunity. It's a different. They have a different mindset.
So can I just Can I speak?
Yes, my love.
Oh, darling. So can I just say to you, when you ring a hairdresser, don't go into the vomit mode. Say, look, I'm touching base with you. If you've got time to speak, I'm launching a product in New Zealand. It's really unique, and it's an all-natural health and wellness anti-aging product. And I'm wondering if you know of anybody that is into that, and you might be able to give me a bit of advice. Because quite often people will go, and they'll give you some advice. Sometimes they say, no, I don't know anybody. But it's a really soft way of going about it and getting people to hear you. I'm wondering if you would please, think about this, and could I send you a bit of information so you know what I'm talking about? Because I'm just this weird voice on the phone, and I'm sorry about that. But I really do have a spectacular product. Okay? So again, you posture like you've got something unique, girls. I mean, you've got a scientist who stands up and he says things that are just amazing. And I've recorded him so I can listen to him over and over. And one of the things he says, the mirror is the greatest reflection of your aging that you can have. So I'm getting rid of all the bloody mirrors. So is there any questions? Like, we've been rabbiting on here. Is there any questions anybody has?
I think that is brilliant to say to somebody, can you give me some advice? That's the one thing I've taken away from tonight, because that is such a soft touch and nobody feels threatened by it. It's brilliant.
Okay, good.
Thank you for that.
Excellent. And remember, it's 4.9 billion. Do you want a share of that? And I sometimes say to people, this is an online opportunity. Your country's doing $4.9 billion a year. Do you know somebody who might want a share of that lucrative market? We're exactly like Amazon, Uber, and Airbnb. This is our model.
And I also agree with you guys about the following up. I had contacted an Irish guy just before I went home to Ireland, and he had called me from, I don't know where he was, Croatia or whatever. And then, he just went into witness protection, and I sent message after message and he never came back. But I persisted because I knew, that if he got interested, this is right up his alley. And he actually finally replied to me, and you just don't know how busy people are and if it's the right time, the wrong time, or whatever. And he's actually going to a presentation hopefully he is, on tomorrow night in Ireland, because he's like, yeah, I'm going to this now. So, I didn't take offense that he hadn't responded. I knew he'd seen my messages, and I just thought, I'm going to keep saying to him, is this something you're interested in? Until he actually says no.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just sometimes not the right time for them to reply back to you. So just keep going.
Yeah.
And Una, I also thought, I think I invited 9 people to Brian Dixon in Sydney. And I was highly upset.
Because she was a Nigel on the night. Nigel, no friends.
And I really did all the necessary and blah, blah, blah. But what I did have, I had 5 people who actually apologized, like in the afternoon or in the morning and whatever. I've had 1 sign up as a distributor, and I haven't actually seen them yet. And I've got appointments with the other 4. So when someone you invite and they say they're coming, that's fine if they can't come. Your life happens, but don't leave it there. Now is your absolute pearl to go back and say, gosh, the meeting was absolutely amazing. You know what he said? He said, blah, blah, blah. I just so wish you'd been there. Would you like to have a coffee with me? Or would you like to come? And if there's a next meeting, invite them to the next meeting. So it's just that life is busy. Don't give up, or don't be disappointed, and don't feel negative if they don't come to your meeting.
Yeah.
Because they will eventually, when you just keep following up in a loving, gentle way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about all you other people there? Shall we unmute them, Una?
Sure, of course, I can do
Now,
that.
stop the share. We'll stop this share. Let's take the share away. And then we can unmute everybody.
Look at Emily. Emily.
And Holly is sitting
Hello.
there, and Timmy. Any
Hi.
question, girls?
I'm trying to unmute them now and I can't.
Nope, I'm here.
Unmute yourselves, and then we'll just see if there are any questions or any sharings.
I just love listening to you both. The banter makes me laugh. You put me in such a good mood. I love it. I need to talk to you every day, I think.
We must just tell you what happened at Brian Dixon's meeting. Trish and I, at one point, Trish was standing on her own, and some total arbitrary stranger walked up and gave her a big hug and said, "Mommy, I love you."
I was like, she's the other knob.
And then another lady came up to me and she said, "Oh, we love watching your train." Then we don't even know who they are. They
It
must have
happens all the time. It happens all the time.
been so funny. Anyway,
That's just a bit of fun, isn't it,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
So,
It just shows the power of perseverance, though.
It
It really
does.
does.
Yes, Kim
it
Conning.
does indeed.
And the other
Power
side
of
of it is like,
perseverance.
yeah, exactly. There's a prime example of perseverance going to Utah, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And with you guys as well, seriously, you know, I mean, look at you now, you're doing the whole IT thing nearly by yourselves, and well done, you know, it's just fantastic.
No, that's not true. She's doing it.
And you're
Oh,
just
shush,
putting your
shush.
little bits in when you're allowed to.
She here indoors.
You're like a nun, Trish, with the scarf.
It's hers as well.
I'll tell you a quick story if there are no questions. We went off to this gorgeous place. Who's ever heard of Waiheke Island? Okay. So, you have, right? So now we're quite excited that Tiger, who's been just the most amazing, he's just
He's
such
a host.
beautiful
Oh my God.
person. Anyway, he said, "What are we doing today?" And he took us to our appointments, and he knew the one phototherapist that we enrolled today. And off we go. So we now on the ferry after our appointment, and we on the ferry. So Tiger and I are sitting on the chairs. This one, in the wind, in her hair, there's a gentleman standing on his own at the front of the boat. So she sidles up to him, and then he says something and she says something. The next minute she comes up, "Have you got a brochure? Have you got a brochure?" So within 10 minutes, he had the brochure and the whole lot. And of course, tomorrow she's going to do the follow-up. Yeah. And there you go. Trishy talks to everybody. She's amazing.
Not proud at all. Not proud.
Well done, girls.
Follow up with everybody as well, girls. So, you can be the pig and land on the plate. You have to die. You can either be the egg just gets there and it's okay. But the pig has to die to be on that plate. So that's how committed I am. I'm the friggin' pig. I'm going to die to get on that plate.
I'm a pig in training. I can be anything. I can be a pig. I can be a mouse.
But the most important thing, while we're doing this business, we're going to have fun along the way.
Yeah.
And even though we've been working on it, I must tell you, Trish and I are really tired. We've had 6 days on the trot from morning till night, so we are a little tired. So excuse us if we look like
No, we don't have the trots. We've been on the trot.
But we've had fun. We've met fabulous people, and I'm sure we're going to we've got
Had Kim. She was here.
But it was fun, wasn't it, Kim?
Kim said you guys were amazing. Unmute yourself, Kim.
Yeah, they were hilarious.
Hello.
She said she learned so much from you.
I've just sent you a message, Trish. You got to read that later.
Thank you. Good on you guys. I just think, come on, we can do this.
Yeah.
We can be strong women and we can actually build a legacy to leave to our kids or create an opportunity, It's just an amazing opportunity. And when you listen to Brian Dixon, you sit there and you think, God, I've got goosebumps.
Yeah.
I really have got goosebumps. And, when he says, if somebody says, well, there's no medical knowledge or studies behind it, he says, go buy a ream of paper and print out all the studies and take them down and go, here, good luck with your reading of the medical studies.
Yeah.
Where you just don't get that anywhere else, do you?
No. I'm going to, if you don't mind, you've got a couple of more minutes. I would like Trishy to share a story that happened yesterday.
Well, what is it?
Your daughter-in-law.
Oh, actually,
This
is
is
very
unbelievable.
okay. So my daughter-in-law, it's been a shit month actually, guys. But my daughter-in-law was diagnosed with muscle dystonia. Now, muscular dystonia is a really rare genetic thing. So suddenly, about 2 years ago, she started dragging her right leg, and it'd flick out. And when she was really tired, it would flick out really badly. Now, she's a very fit young lady who's a yoga teacher, etc., etc. And so she had all the tests, and it was all the rat bag stuff you get. Anyway, finally, she started taking Nerf 1, Nerf 2, and she noticed a big difference. So she then stopped because she thought, I'm going to see this neurologist. I want him to see how bad it is. So my son videoed her before she went, and he diagnosed her with muscle dystonia. And that is a really debilitating thing because it's in the leg now, but it can move to the arm. It can also move to the throat and stop her swallowing and things. She's 33. Anyway, so she's come back and she's just taking...
Hang on, she was referred to the neurologist, and what did he say he
Now,
could
the
do?
neurologist said, yes, the test came back positive to muscle dystonia. He said she had two choices, really strong medication, and one of those was an anti-epileptic drug. She took
Terrible side effects.
and really bad side effects. Another drug which worked on the nerves but made her put on a lot of weight. Or she could have brain surgery, which would fix the conductors in a leg or something, I don't know. Anyway, it wasn't a good scenario. So she was devastated. Anyway, she's gone home now and she's only got Nerf 1 because I've been away. So she started taking Nerf 1, 2 tablets a day, and she's been on them for a week now. And she walked in the shopping centre yesterday in flat shoes that she's not been able to walk in for about 9 months. She's walked on the beach with Rob. They've gone down on the beach.
That she hasn't done for nearly 2 years.
Hasn't been able to walk on the beach. She's been able to go down to the sand and swim and just get off the sand. She's been hiking, and Rob has now videoed her. And Rob, who was very reluctant to see any benefit with this product, has said, Mum, I've never seen it like this. She's better than she's been in 2 years. And I'm videoing what she's walking like today so that you can see the difference and show people.
Wow, Trish, that's amazing.
Isn't
So
that
that's
amazing?
obviously mitochondrial dysfunction that she's got.
I think I spoke to someone whose husband yesterday had that. I'm sure that's what she said. Muscle dystrophia. Is that what you said?
Dystonia, yeah.
Well, if it's that, I might have to get you to speak to her because she was very not sure if her husband would be open to having a look because he too very fit, very looks after himself really well and everything. So yeah, wow, that's really interesting.
Well, Lexi sent me a text tonight to say, I'm so blessed you've given me my life back.
That's beautiful.
Isn't it sweet?
Isn't that amazing?
That's
That's
all
good.
that matters.
That's good that Rob got to see that change as well.
Thanks be to God for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not even going to go there.
Yeah.
That's